Hey guys, welcome in. I could not be more excited to do today's video, and there's a couple of reasons. One is that Blend Bunny just came out with a new pan that's smaller called the Plastic Palette. I think this launched on January 17th. I jumped right on this, I think on launch day, because I didn't want this to sell out. It's the first time that Blend Bunny has done a palette of this size so far as I know. And also I have never tested the formula. So I'm actually really excited to feature a brand new release of Blend Bunnies and actually test the formula for the first time. And it's also a phenomenal looking color story, some pinks and some neutrals, so we'll read up on this. But I am most excited because Dede Signature had reached out to me after my ranking all 70 palettes that I tried for 2024 video. If you guys haven't seen that, I will post that in the description box. And she said she was like super flattered that one of her palettes had made my top palette for 2024, and she added me to her PR list. This is the very first brand who has formally added me to their PR list. I have received PR from other brands, but it's been kind of like a one-off where they're like, yeah, here's a gift card and you can go and you can pick out what you want and feature it on your channel if you want to or not. But Dede actually said, no, I want to add you to the PR list. Honestly, I cannot describe how flattered I am and how like excited I've been telling everybody who will listen, and then like showing them the video. Like everyone at work knows, where I try not to tell them that I even have a YouTube channel because I don't want people finding it. I just like to keep things separate. But anyway, the point is I was extremely flattered, and I was spreading the news to anyone who will listen. And I don't think I would be as excited if I wasn't particularly enthusiastic about Dede and her brand. I tried her brand for the first time in 2024. I know she had started maybe a year or 2 years before that, and I feel like there was some ebbs and flows watching other creators talk about her brand, and then she kind of took a pause for a while, but then she came back, and in my opinion, I feel like she came back significantly stronger. I like the things that she posts, I like the things that she says, and from a distance, I feel she's a genuine human. I don't know that for certain, but that's kind of the impression that I get from a distance. Anyway, I'm thrilled to feature her products, and what I'm going to feature in today's video, even though she's got some liquid blushes that launched and she also had some eyeshadow palettes that recently launched, I'm going to feature those in a separate video because I'm going to be testing those, and these came out sooner and these are available now. So these are the blush trios, the Pinched Cheeks trio, and they come in 2 color stories, and then it also came with the Dazzling Bronze highlighter. So we'll be using these in addition to the plastic palette from Blend Bunny. I'm so excited to do this video. I can't even tell you guys. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. We're going to be playing with some cool indie brands. So let's get to it, you guys. We're going to swatch this entire palette, then we'll make one look, and then we'll get into the blush. All right, you guys, let's read about the plastic palette. So Blend Bunny has quite a description on their website, so I wanted to read it because I liked everything that was written and I think it describes it pretty well. So it says, okay, listen up. Because this is about to be your new obsession, this is our first 12 pan color story, designed specifically for all the versatile baddies who need a palette that can do it all. From soft everyday looks to full-on showstoppers. This is your secret weapon. Did we mention the pans are magnetic? Oh yes. We've got your pops of hot pink that will give you the pop of vibrance, and then of course those dreamy neutrals that you can blend and wear every day but make it fashion. But wait, there's more. We've got cranberry multi-chromes that shift like magic, neon peach shades that are literally glowing with energy, and iridescent teal moments that are so stunning. This palette is everything you need to create a look that's effortlessly chic or full-on bold, depending upon your mood. And you'll have all the colors to choose from to make sure you're serving looks from every angle, ready to be the center of attention. Anyway, it's also perfectly in time with Valentine's Day, so I think this is kind of like a Valentine's Day launch with the pink shades and the cranberry, and then you can do neutrals. And it does have a pretty deep shade. It's not a black shade, although it kind of looks like that back on the viewfinder when I'm looking. It's just a deep, very chocolatey brown. This is a pressed pigment palette, but oh my gosh, you guys, magnetic palettes. I mean, I never move mine around, but I know a lot of people like to do that. So let's swatch from left to right, top to bottom, and we'll get an idea of what it looks like, and then also an idea of what kind of eyeshadow look I'm gonna do. I might stay more neutral today, just because I think there might be other things kind of going on, but we'll get to test the quality. I might throw in like 1 pop of color, so we'll see. All right, I zoomed out just like a tad, I think. This is Reputation, which is that brown matte, deep brown matte, and Sugar Zaddy. And I don't have a description of what they are. I don't think the website tells you. It just tells you the ingredients of each of them. Look at my little friend right here. Oh, I must be eating too much chocolate at work. Okay, anyway, those are the first two. You guys tell me that it's all about the mattes with Blend Bunny. So I'm just expecting that we're gonna get like the most amazing matte formula ever. I also want to mention that this palette does retail for $34 US dollars. And I think that's way more affordable than a lot of the larger palettes have been, which makes sense because there's a lot more shades. So I'm actually very excited because if the quality of Blend Bunny is as good as everybody says it is, then 34 bucks for a palette that we see a lot of in this shape and style and number of pans, it would just be fabulous that it would be at the $34 price range. So I'm just super thrilled. All right, this is Rumor Has It, which is a deep red matte and then plastic, which looks like pink with gold, which is one of my favorite color shimmers that I wear constantly, all the time, every day. I wear that as a single shade a lot, like especially go to work. Just that pink and gold is my jam, is even in like blushes and highlighters. All right, and then Self-Made and Faux is a satin shade. By the way, this plastic is definitely referencing a lot of folks these days, you know what I mean? It's crazy how common getting plastic surgery or additions are becoming. I don't know. I feel like I should be doing it too. Anyway, that's a full-on other conversation that we're not gonna get into. So this one here is in Shallow, which is a very, very light blue shade. And then this is Nip Tuck, which is a very warm brown matte. Oh, that's kind of a topper, not a huge base on that one. The mattes already look super good on the single swipe. So I'm really hopeful for the matte formula. Ooh, this one is like a multi-chrome and it's like squishy. It's Clout Chasin, and then Purchase is pretty, oh, that's a multi-chrome, is a pretty light, like peach, almost skin tone color. There you go, look at the multi-chrome. Oh, it's my skin tone. The multi-chrome is like red. I don't know, it shifts kind of like this purple. It's so hard to see. Oh, well, especially if it keeps focusing on me. I think you can almost kind of see it here. Like there's like a purple somewhere in there. I don't know. It's really interesting. I don't know if I have like a multi-chrome like this. They're calling it a cranberry, but it's got a black base to it. It's really kind of cool. All right, and these last two, Gossip, which feels like a really soft multi-chrome, and then the deepest, very neon, vibrant pink matte shade. Oh, that's another topper. Holy smokes, look at that pink matte. And there's the full color story. So pinks mixed with neutrals, just like they said, and some deep cranberry shades. And that really deep shade right there, is it black? No, I actually do think it is black. I thought it was like a deep brown, which is what I was saying, but I don't think it is. Nope, it looks like it's a full-on black shade. So I personally love that because anytime you give me like a deep based or black base shimmer, I'm gonna want the black shade in there because I want to use the black shade to deepen the outer corner. That's just my personal preference, but also this one is pretty deep too that you could pair with this one. So I think that you've got pairing colors here. There's a lot you can do with this, like just a lot. There's neutrals here. Again, you can also take it like super vibrant and fun. There is immediately so many looks that I can think of. This black would be great with this like toppery teal shade. You could create like a full neutral look if you just stayed in this little quad here. You could go super vibrant pink, and then you can also go something super brown and neutral, especially if you stayed with those two shades right here. There's a lot you can do with this for sure. You can make a look out of this palette that you might not even think came from this palette, because it does, I think when you hold it back, I mean, primarily kind of look like a pink color story because you've got a 6 pan over here that's pretty colorful, or pink colorful. Anyway, I know what I'm gonna do today. I'm going to take these two mattes. These are the primary colors that I'm gonna end up using. I'm gonna start building this in the outer corner. I might end up even like adding the black in, but this is definitely gonna be the shade that I use to diffuse it out. And I'm going for this pink with gold right here because that's the shade I like the most. I will say though that the two topper shades, this one and this one right here, I'm not a huge topper fan. So those shades personally, I think they disappoint me a little because I don't find a huge use for them. I like really impactful shimmers. Anyway, we're gonna be sporting another indie brand, the Bella Beauté Bar. They went along with an eyeshadow palette. The Smoky Glam brush set is what I think these are. And I think they were like $55. I do have a discount code with Bella Beauté Bar. It is an affiliated link, so if you do use it, it does help me. I also have a brand new palette, the Morally Grey palette from Bella Beauté Bar that I'm still gonna be using, but I am not affiliated with Blend Bunny Cosmetics, or Dede Signature didn't give me a code, an affiliated link. So I will link their stuff in the description box, but those things don't earn me a commission if you use the link, but the one from Bella Beauté Bar does. I'm like loving these. I feel like indie brands actually do kind of a better job with eyeshadow brushes than a lot of other companies. Like, I'm just loving the Bella Beauté bar, and to be honest, my Clarity Cosmetics brushes also have been absolutely fabulous. Now I'm gonna become like a little brush snob. Okay, I'm going into Rumor Has It with, they don't name these, but it's a little bit of a tighter, flatter brush. And I'm starting in the outer corner, and I'm just going to deepen it, but pretty low, because I'm gonna diffuse it out with a different color. Again, I might go in with the black just to deepen up this outer corner. It really depends. I don't know what it depends on yet, but I guess my emotions. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Already, the matte shade here, it's deep, but then you can see how well it blends, how well it's starting to just equally diffuse. Like, look, no patchiness when you start to blend it out, and you can really diffuse the edges with very little effort, and it just becomes like this very smoky look. If you're not good at blending, bad eyeshadows or eyeshadows that are not blendable make it so much trickier to learn or to even create a really good eye look, that sometimes it's about finding the right formula to work with, to practice on. I don't know why I'm saying all of that, but so far just one shade I'm already loving. Like, it's not too intense, but it's really blendable. I'm loving how it stays true to the color when it gets to your eyes, which doesn't happen all the time with cranberry shades with me. A lot of times they will pull purple, believe it or not. All right, fluffier brush. This is just for blending. Now, instead of, about drop that palette. The Rumor Has It shade was the one I just used. Now I'm gonna go into Self-Made, which is a peachy color. And hopefully this gives us like a little bit of color, but works well with this burgundy, more like maroon, I guess. I don't know what the difference is, but usually these two shades, if they're really blendable shadows, they just look so good together, I've found. Yes, they are fabulous, just fabulous. Again, I might use more burgundy or go in with the black. I don't know. I feel like I need a little bit more burgundy on this side to just lay it on there. By the way, I could not be going in with any lighter of a hand, I have to say. I'm like barely touching the brush to my eye, and it's getting decent pigmentation. I'm going to take it like slightly inward. I'm gonna take the shimmer pretty high, so it may not matter, but just to give it a little bit of base here. Wow, I thought that they were intense when I put them in the outer corner, but they're like also buildable. Some are so pigmented, you could put a little on the brush and think that you're gonna just like give it a like a little bit of shadow, and then you're like, oh no, that just took over the whole eye. But this is really doing a good job at just staying very light and being buildable. If you guys can hear the vacuum, I'm so sorry. I got up early this morning, I did all my chores, I cleaned all my stuff, dishes, cleaned up, laundry. It's only 10 o'clock, so I got up pretty early to do it. It is a Saturday as I'm filming this. Then my husband gets up at like 8:46 and he's like, hey honey, I'm here. I got up before 9 o'clock, and I'm like, great. The vacuum was all out, the mopping stuff was all out. I'm like, okay, well this is what you got then. This is what's on your plate. So he's down there vacuuming now. I'm just adding a little bit more of the maroon and kind of blending it inward before we go in with the shimmer. All right, we're going into Plastic. I like that Plastic, the name of the palette, is probably my favorite shimmer. We're gonna lay this on and go pretty high up to be a pretty dominant part of the eyeshadow look. Yes, yes. The vacuum is just getting louder and louder. It needed it, you guys. The house, the dog hair was so crazy. We didn't vacuum last weekend. I didn't vacuum last weekend because we sometimes have so much going on and I just didn't have time. And you know, with 2 dogs and 2 cats, you cannot go a whole 2 weeks without vacuuming. Like, the dog hair was insane. You're just like stepping over dog hair, just like wading through it like it's water. I barely cleaned anything up. That was fabulous. It did it just by itself. The blending, it didn't go anywhere. Like, I didn't even make a mess. Like, I felt like I could have just done my entire foundation beforehand and would have had to clean it up very little. All right, I'm going back into that maroon shade, and I'm adding like a tiny bit to the brush to blend these 2 colors together. I don't think I'll add anything more for this side, just kind of blend them. I wonder if I should do, just as a fun extra step, take this hot pink shade as like a matte in the inner corner. Like, what do you guys think? Should I do that just for fabulousness? Should we do that? Should we spice it up? I think we'll do that. Okay, I am going to, off camera, do my lashes. I'm going to do my foundation, and then we'll come back and we will finish the eye look. I have to say, this is shaping up to be one of the easiest eye looks I've ever done because it was so simple to put together and it was so fast too. I threw on my Moira Statement Gel Liner in the waterline. This one's like a bright pink. It's called Hot Pink. I thought I was gonna do something a little bit dark, but I think we'll take one of the dark shades that I did in the outer corner, the Rumor Has It shade, and we'll go pretty tight into the lash line, and then we'll grab the peachy shade and we'll smoke it out with that. So that's what we're gonna do next. Actually, before we do that, let's take this Pseudo Celeb shade. I don't think I actually said the name here. Pseudo Celeb is what it's called. And let's bring that, I'm doing it on an AOA Studio brush that's like pretty tight. Just picked it up, super hot pink. And let's bring this in the inner corner here, kind of like that. Does that look crazy? I don't know, but we're doing it. Man, that is bright pink. Okay, let's see how I like that when the look is like done. So I'm going into Rumor Has It on a eyeliner brush, and I'm just gonna get really tight to the lash line, but not take over the Statement Gel Liner from Moira. I'm going all the way across with this shade. I'm gonna go all the way across with both. So far, I actually don't love that pink in the inner corner, but that's fine. All right, now that Self-Made, yes, Self-Made shade on the lower lash line just to buff it out. I honestly didn't go in super deep with the Rumor Has It shade. I could have gone deeper. Okay, I am going deeper, okay? Something about this hot pink in the inner corner is just not like working. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just not working for me. I'm going into the Bad Gal Bang Mascara for the lower lashes, just a little bit. Okay, I went heavier than I wanted it to. Honestly, adding those couple of extra things just made it like such a brighter and a more wild look. So I do have my foundation on and I've powdered. I put bronzer on my forehead, but I have not done it on my cheeks because I want to go into these blush and I want to try every shade in the lighter palette. So let's talk a little bit about them. So these blush trios, they retail for $22.99 from Dede Signature. You can actually get the bundle where you can get both for a discounted price of $42.99. So the two different color stories here, one is more kind of like berry tone, depending upon how pigmented they are. I go for blush like this an awful lot. Here's the orange option. Some of these, like this one could definitely work for a lighter skin tone, and then this one for a deeper skin tone. It's just pink and oranges. That's kind of how this goes, but it goes in a gradient where the lightest can kind of work for the lightest skin tone and the deepest for the deepest skin tone. So it's like an orange palette and a pink purple palette. So it says the Pink Cheeks Blush Trio is part of our Blush and Glow collection. The palette is a perfect mix of romantic and playful hues. It features Mulberry, which is a rich deep tone for sophisticated look, Tangerine, which is a hot pink, a vibrant shade for a youthful glow, and Carnation is a soft pastel for subtle elegance. Each shade seamlessly makes it ideal for any occasion, whether you're going for a natural finish or a bold pop of color. This palette adapts to your needs, offering smooth, lightweight finish. So I actually thought I was gonna do all of like the lighter shades, but I don't know if I'm gonna use this one on. I feel like I'm just obviously gravitating towards this right now because of the eye look that I put together, but I want to swatch everything, and I think, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with this one. I'm going to put all three of these shades on just to see how pigmented they are and if I can get away with a shade like this. That one is Lava Glute. This one is Tangerine, which is interesting name for like a bright pink shade, and then the lighter one in Carnation, which totally makes sense. So here's the swatches. The Lava Glute was a little powdery and they got softer as they kind of went down. It doesn't say on the website like how pigmented these are going to be or if they're meant to be more buildable, but look at the stains on these two colors. I'm not typically into blush palettes. I would like to see Dede, like if these do well, like this formula. Ooh, that one's actually super pretty, you guys. That one is in Delight. Like it looks deeper in the pan, but it almost has a little bit of like pink to it. It's actually really pretty. Anyway, I would like to see Dede do individual blushes just cause I don't reach for palettes all that often. They get ignored because I'm always looking for individual blushes. I don't know why. I could love a blush in a palette. I just don't always reach for palettes. And I know that's like hard to do when you're an indie brand, especially to like start out with the blush line that they're individual blushes. I'm just thinking selfishly, like that's what I would love. But anyway, those are the full swatches. And I think there's probably shades in each one that I can get away with. But for the sake of of taking off and putting on the foundation, I'm going to do this one. And I think we're gonna end with this shade. So I'm gonna try these two shades first. Wow, this got all over and it's super staining. All of those shades are really pigmented. I'm getting a fluffier brush. I'm still going Bella Beauté Bar. I haven't used this yet, I don't think, but I'm gonna wipe it off anyway. I want something super fluffy because I'm gonna go into Lava Glute first. I'm really tapping it off. Woo, I didn't do it. I didn't stick with what I said. I didn't tap it all the way off. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. Don't do what I did. That is wild. Now I'm gonna have to get a denser brush. Okay, hold on. These are really pigmented. Extremely. I went back in after I said I was gonna tap it off, and then I just went straight into my cheeks like a crazy person. I'm so impatient. Just slow down, Carrie. Okay, that actually worked. I got this more dense brush. This is from e.l.f. It's the Flawless Face Brush. And I was able to kind of like roughly swipe in the chunk of blush that I had right here. And it actually blent out. I was not expecting that. I thought, oh, what damage control am I gonna have to do here? I didn't think that was gonna work. So here's that color. Lava Glute looks like this. You know, you could get away with this. If you really just slow down and put a dab on, I think you can wear it if you're of a lighter skin tone. I'm going to brush this off since I liked this brush so much and go into Carnation, but brush it off. Okay, let's see. This is that kind of like white-based baby pink that I don't usually get along with, but a lot of people seem to like. It's just not for me. It doesn't look, I don't think, super flattering because it's a white base. I think it looks better on like deeper skin tones, if I'm honest. I don't know, I feel like it just doesn't add anything to my complexion. I think it kind of makes me look sick a little, like a little flushed. Yeah, it's just very white based. It's definitely not something that I would normally reach for. So Carnation would not be, I better wipe this off. Carnation would not be a shade that I would generally reach for. However, I would wear a shade like this very lightly if I wanted like a super bright pink option. Let's see what happens here. Just gonna have a pink arm all day. Took a little bit of scrubbing, but I got it off. Now I'm wondering what it's gonna take to get off of my cheeks. It doesn't have any sheen. I think it's supposed to be matte, but doesn't it look like nice and glossy? I don't know, there's like a highlight about my cheeks that I didn't realize. And I'm using a satin foundation. So it's pretty, but it's more soft matte than anything. And I feel like this actually looks very healthy on the cheeks. I like these. I don't like the Carnation shade. I like the Lava Glute, but I went in too heavy. So it's hard to measure whether or not I would pull that in for an everyday look. Let's get on Tangerine. My arm is definitely pink. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's stained. All right, we're going into Tangerine. I'm so scared. It's totally gonna match the eye look. I've cleaned off the same brush because I want to use it. I'm really gonna tap it though, guys. I do have bronzer on and it's a cream, so it might stick a little. I want to just pat it into the cheeks like ever so lightly. Maybe that's kind of it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm gonna do. I don't think that I want to go harder because I think I'll regret it. They're really pigmented. I think that the only buildability that you're gonna get with these is if you go in with a super light hand to start and then keep adding super duper light layers. This is light, so it tells you that it is a buildable formula in that like if you go in light-handed and you do it that right way, you can get a lighter look out of it, but it's still intense. You know, I had someone ask me on a video because I was like talking about blush being super intense but also super buildable, and they're like, well, which is it? And I started thinking to myself, it's both. Hello, if you can go in with a super light hand and then keep building the intensity, but you can start it out extremely light, then it is buildable, but it doesn't mean it's not intense if you just like dipped into it and just went straight to your cheeks, as opposed to some formulas where you have to dig in pretty hard to get a pretty intense application, period. You know, like you're digging your brush in like super hard because it's almost, I don't know, sheer or just like super non-existent initially. But it's a very blendable formula, that's the thing. Because a lot of times when blush or any face product, powder product, anything is super intense, like right away, you know, if you're just digging your brush in like you normally would for something that's a little bit lighter, sometimes it just doesn't have that blendability, so put it where you want it. These are extremely blendable. My son just came up here. He's like, has my auntie responded yet? he wants to do a sleepover at his cousin's. Anyway, I think this was the perfect blush shade for this particular eye look. I like this color, and I would wear a super light layer and probably with a brighter pink eye look or like a shirt or just an outfit in general. Now we need to get into this highlighter. It's called the Dazzling Bronze Highlighter. Meet the Dazzling Bronze Highlighter, a multi-purpose and multi-dimensional masterpiece. This single highlighter, which can also be used as an eyeshadow, blends soft rose, pearl, and bronze hues, creating an ethereal glow. Perfect for highlighting your cheekbones, brow bones, and décolleté. It catches the light beautifully to enhance your natural features. This versatile highlighter suits every skin tone and can be built up for a subtle luminosity or intense shimmer. Its ultra-fine formula ensures a smooth application, leaving your skin radiant and glowing all day. This retails for $20.99. So I guess she's saying that these tones can be kind of used individually so that you can get like a deeper skin toned application up here and then lighter down here. And I don't know where the bronzy hue is, like other than kind of like the orange, you know, that's kind of like bronzy, but this one could be kind of bronzy. I want to do like a one finger swipe. I tried to do this with a shadow. That's as good as I can get it. I kind of miss where my finger creased a little bit, but that's kind of it. Do I think it's sparkly? A little bit, but it's more fine than that. Like it doesn't have glitters if it is sparkly. It's kind of a pretty pricey highlighter, if I'm being honest. $20.99, where 3 blushes are $22.99 all on their own. So it's pretty expensive for being a single product. I'm going to take my brush and I'm just gonna swirl it into these bottom shades here. We're going straight into the cheeks. Okay, this is definitely, I think, your very indie-esque kind of highlighter. It does look more sparkly now that it's on the cheeks and over the blush. Yeah, a little bit more sparkly. Not as smooth as I thought it was going to be. Now I'm gonna take the middle part. I'm just like going in right here as opposed to like, I don't know, kind of the bottom, and going on this side. Ooh, that's a much like brighter pink is coming off because I'm getting less of that like white. Yeah, it's kind of a sparkly highlighter. I don't know if this is really my preferred kind of highlighter. I know there are folks out there that like it, and I will say there are some sparkly highlighters that I have from indie brands that I keep because I do think that they're good for a really intense like eye look when you're really just going all out doing something really fun, and I like them for that. That's kind of what I would wear this highlighter for, but I don't think on an everyday basis I would like it. Now, I will say I don't love the middle of the palette as much on this side as I do this side, which was the lighter shades, which doesn't surprise me at all because I'm a fairer skin tone. So I don't know how much use I'll actually get out of that. There are probably folks out there that would really enjoy it, and a lot of people have indie brand highlighters in their collection that they really enjoy, so I can't discount that there is folks that really might enjoy that formula. It's just, it's kind of not my preferred formula. I mean, I bet you I'll keep it and keep giving it a shot because I absolutely love Dede. Okay, I'm throwing on the 3D Hydro Lip Gloss in the shade 017 from Kiko Milano. I pulled it out of my everyday makeup drawer. So what do you guys think? This was my first time testing the Blend Bunny, which you guys knew. It was absolutely fabulous. I know what everybody is talking about. It's one of the simplest eye looks that I've ever put together. The best blendability. They were like, again, pigmented but buildable, but also very blendable. Everything went together very well, and my eye look, aside from how long this video might be, was one of the fastest. Everything going on didn't give me any trouble. It went where I wanted it to, and then I moved on, and that was it. There was no going back or trying to clean it up. In fact, you guys saw, or at least you heard me say, like, I was barely cleaning up my edges, where sometimes I have to pack the shade so much and it gets down here because I need it to build up, and it just gave me what I was looking for right away. Thoroughly enjoyed this palette, and for $32, if you guys live in the US, and I want to say that it was fairly affordable shipping in the US. Of course, she does have a note on her website that if you're shopping outside of the US, when picking like first class international shipping, there's custom and taxes and things like that. Especially when it comes to makeup, they do that a lot. Same thing with like perfumes and like just anything that's kind of makeup related because of the ingredients in it. But if you guys shop Blend Bunny, I love this palette. This formula was just so freaking good. And honestly, the blush and the highlighters from Dede's Signature, I'm so glad she's moving on into something. I am very excited to test the liquid blush formula upcoming. Her new eyeshadow palette, she also has one that's coming out, I want to say February 17th, which was the Chromebook Volume 2 that has not even launched yet, which I will be featuring on my channel. I hope you enjoyed today's video, you guys. If you guys aren't currently subscribed, I would love to see you subscribe. I'm out of here, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye. Bye guys.